Hey guys, it's Julia, and today I'm going to be talking about my Hurricane Irma experience. Okay, so to begin with, if you guys, don't like kind of survival stories or deeper, darker subjects, you can go ahead and click off. I won't be offended. I know this type of content isn't for everybody. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, to start off, I'll give you a little bit of information about my location. So I live in Pinellas County, Florida. I'm not going to specify where. And also, all this information is like kind of the same. Yeah, it's the same as when the hurricane occurred, or my current living situation. So, yeah. And this hurricane hit on September 10th, and it was projected to be a Category 5, right? And we live in an evacuation A zone, which means our house is 10 foot or below, which means we were required to follow mandatory evacuation, which means you should have. But if you don't, then emergency departments, fire trucks, police, EMTs, they all can't come help you because you were supposed to evacuate. So yeah, they technically can't force you. But anyway, so yeah, I lived in evacuation A zone in Pinellas County, Florida. So, everybody was pressuring, before the storm, a week before the storm, like, hey, leave, but we didn't really want to leave, my family didn't really want to leave. We're just like, we can tough it through, we can figure it out. And my mom had a couple locations that weren't in an evacuation A zone, that were just in another zone, evacuation A zone, or wasn't in an evacuation A zone, goodness gracious, that we would be able to evacuate to. So evacuation D, evacuation E, I'm pretty sure, those type of zones, which are like 30 to 50 feet above sea level. But yeah, so I think we had 2 or 3 places. The first one fell through. I forget if there was a second, but if it did, it fell through. And there was a third place. Everybody was telling us, evacuate north, evacuate to Georgia, evacuate to, above that even, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, or even back to my home state, Ohio. But the highways were so backed up, the hurricane would have hit while we were in traffic on the road. So my family thought the best decision was to tough it out. So yeah, we were just going to try to stay in our house if we could, and if we deemed it safe. But the conditions got really bad, and it started to become projected to a Category 5 hurricane. So we evacuated down to Manatee County, which was our second or third option, which was with my mom's former best friend. But yeah, so we evacuated to there, like a couple days before the hurricane. We packed everything. The car was so weighed down, like it was almost touching the floor. The highways were crazy, but my mom wanted us to be safe, so we went to Manatee County, which, it doesn't make sense for most people. Like, why would you go down? You know what I mean? But it had the higher elevation, so it was safer and the quickest way that we could get out of an immediate flood zone. So anyway, we went there, and I had my mom, my sister, my brother, my cousin, and my grandpa, and my dog. Or my family pet, not my dog. I wish it was just my dog, but yeah, we went to my mom's former best friend's house, and her boyfriend, or not my mom's boyfriend, my mom's former friend's boyfriend. Goodness gracious. Okay. Anyway, so we went there, and we packed a little bit of food, some canned food, some bread, some peanut butter, some stuff that wouldn't expire. They were in bags about, I don't know, this big. They weren't that, there was 2 big bags of food. We had a mini safe. We were prepared, or as prepared as we could be, to toughen it out. So the storm, as I said, I'm pretty sure it came on September 10th. It came through the night. And actually, we lost power. We actually had power up to current. We watched like the storm go through Orlando and that type of stuff. And yeah, we lost power for like a day and a half. We actually sat like in the garage since this house is a brick house. We sat in the garage sometimes. One of the time we looked through the crack and it looked like the whole sky was falling down, like actually during the hurricane. Like it was crazy, But yeah, so the hurricane lasted on about 12 hours. It was projected to hit us as a category 5, but hit us as a category, I think it was a 2. Yeah, 2 or 3. And, that made it a lot better, but still, in Pinellas County in particular, I heard that the damages, were more of wind damage rather than water damage. And yeah, so we lost power, obviously, and all that crazy stuff. Things started shaking. It was kind of scary. But after the fact, there was the aftermath is seemingly like the worst part of it, which is kind of crazy. But, we had, my mom's former best friend had a power generator, so we were able to charge our phones and stuff. We took like a giant power strip and just went in it at once. And my mom's former best friend at the time, like she was living there kinda, but like not really. But she said she was gonna come back and live with us, and she did live with us. But yeah, and then big part of the story, right? So when we were running off the generator, my mom saw, or I forget if it was off the generator or during the hurricane off of 4G, but we saw that a house was burning down in our neighborhood, and it looked, to be like on our side of the street on the right, where we live, and we thought our house was burning down. We thought we were gonna come back with nothing. It was crazy, but turns out that the house, when we came back, okay, so yeah, we let me go back to the other part of the story. We lived, off of the generator for a couple days, and then 2 days after the hurricane, I think it was September 12th, tensions were running high. We wanted to get back to our house. We wanted to see whether our house was burnt up or not. So we got back to our house, and turns out it wasn't, or we went over the Skyway Bridge. It said it was closed, but we went anyway. So it was like kind of like a miracle we were able to get back home. The Skyway is the bridge from Manatee to Pinellas because there's water in between it. But yeah, so we went that way, and we figured out that our house wasn't burned to the ground, but the neighbors, the house right next to us was burned to the ground. And people said that like our house would have been burned to the ground as well, but there was a rain, so it stopped it. You know what I mean? Stopped it from moving further, but I guess there was like a gas explosion within the house, and it was like down to the ground. It was really bad. So this starts with our aftermath. So our house was okay, besides, a tree fell through our back porch, and, our walls kind of collapsed in, but our house is like kind of weakly built anyway. So that's way better, than we could have gotten. But yeah, so, the walls were all messed up, or not all messed up, a little bit messed up, but we were really fortunate. So, the people who lived in the house were, husband and wife, or not husband, wife, a girlfriend and a boyfriend and their little, 1-year-old baby, and they didn't have anywhere to go. They were stranded. Nobody was helping them. So we took them in, and, and it was hard. We had to share our resources, share everything. They were in here for about a month, probably up until mid-October. And I had to give up my bed since my bed's like the biggest one in the house. So I had to give my bed up. And then after that, FEMA helped them and they got a place, we had some big family of people who are our neighbors, like 3 or 4 doors down to the right. They were evacuated to Virginia or West Virginia. I forget which one, but they were evacuated there, and they came back. And, like, their house, I guess, like, the ceiling caught on fire or something. I guess there was some water damage in their house, too. But, yeah, they needed somewhere to stay. They had nowhere else to go. So here we are again, taking people in, all that type of stuff. It isn't easy, we were sharing food, sharing bedding. At this point, more of them kept coming, and not only did I not have my bed, I didn't have my room. And, it's hard to be selfless, but sometimes, you gotta do it. And, yeah. And then, during this whole time, from when we got home from the hurricane to 5 weeks later, we did not have plumbing for 5 weeks. We had to write a whole report to FEMA. We had to write a report to our landlord. It was crazy. We really should have gotten help, and we didn't get help. And yeah, so that was kind of crazy. The big family moved out in the beginning of December. So we're just now, getting back to normal life, back to having just us in the house. And yeah, between, the time between the hurricane and now, it's just currently January of 2018. Oh, and if I didn't say it before, in case people are watching, like, in the future, Hurricane Irma was in 2017. So, yeah, but, so we're just now recovering. My cousin and my brother don't live with us anymore. My mom's former best friend just kind of stayed there. So, yeah, my house is just me and my sister, my mom and my grandpa and my dog, which is actually, it's crazy from, what it used to be. So, okay, this hurricane taught me to, to stay stronger, to stay put together, you know what I mean? You really find out who your real, true friends are, in the midst of tragedy, in the midst of, hard situations. You can really read people by how they handle, such difficult things. Almost dying together, brings a bond, so close. We were so scared, and we thought we were going to die, and we got so lucky. And I want to thank everybody, who stayed with me through the hurricane and helped, me stay strong. And I've done that for other people too. So yeah, I hope you got my perspective, and I hope you enjoyed. People from the hurricane are still suffering. It is not over. It wasn't just Hurricane Irma. It was Hurricane it was Hurricane Harvey. It was Hurricane Maria. All that type of stuff. So always stay aware and know that, somebody's always going through something. Be kind. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my video. See you on the next one.